Minds with Hakeem podcast, we've got Jared Nicolaisen. Jared was born and raised in New Hampton, Iowa, and graduated from Luther College where he played collegiate basketball. Jared has been in the mortgage industry for almost a year and is passionate about strong relationships and building something bigger than himself.
The Minds with Hakeem podcast will be right back with you guys after we finish thanking our sponsors. All right, so check this out. I know when buying a home for the first time can be a very stressful process. But that's why it's good to give it a good lender like my buddy Jared Nicolaisen from Key Mortgage Group. He's so active to educate his borrowers and also let people be aware of their blind spots. This is a good man to make your lifetime lender, to make your process super stress-free, and don't be turned off by the housing process. You can follow him and find him at jnhomeloan.com. So let me spell that out for you. jnhomeloan.com. So tap in with him. Jared NMLS number is 1969744. I repeat that. 1969744.
The Minds with Hakeem is sponsored by Just Work Training. Just Work Training is a basketball training geared for all ages. If you'd like to find out more, go follow our Instagram page at Just Work Training or go to our website at itsjustworktraining.com.
Welcome back to another episode of the Minds with Hakeem podcast. I'm here with my buddy Jared. Say what's up to the people.
How we doing, everybody?
Man, this is a first. This is a remote interview. We're going through some tough times on the Minds with Hakeem with COVID protocol, so we're going to do our best to get you guys the episode this week. And Jared got some gems to get to y'all. This is the third episode of season 2. This is episode 13, I believe. We moving. So I'm excited for this one. We finna get into the housing market. He got some good knowledge for you guys on this housing market. But before we jump in, I want to do the icebreaker question for my brother, just to check in with him. So, Jared, what is the best advice someone has ever given you?
Yeah, that's a great question, and I've seen, obviously with past episodes, it's something you ask and made me think about it. And I think the best thing that I've ever been told is by my dad. And he told me, he said, you don't have to be better than everybody, but you do have to persevere longer than everybody, and that's how you win. So, for me, that's with basketball. I was never the most athletic. I was never the most skilled, but I definitely just lasted the longest. I outworked a lot of people, and that's where a lot of my success is coming from in basketball and with my career so far.
Absolutely. Just persevering and not just looking at the short term. He gave you an overall vision to look at the long term. That's beautiful, man. Just checking in with you. How are things right now during the pandemic with COVID and everything that you do?
Everything's good with me. Good with my family. Luckily, everyone's been healthy. I mean, I think a couple of my family members have had COVID, but lucky it's like me and my siblings and not like my dad or my mom or anything like that. So we've all been blessed, and I've got a niece that was born in July, and she's healthy. So
dope. That's great, man.
Yep.
Because it's always a blessing to have a baby during this time that come out healthy with all the things that's going on and family can't be in the hospital. It's good to get them in and get them out, man. That's a blessing.
Absolutely.
All right, cool. We're going to jump right into the housing market. This is an episode that's needed right now for people our age, honestly, and for people who already got some money saved up and looking to house hack. We're going to get into that a little bit too. Let's jump right into the market. First question for you is, so what is the state of the housing market right now, like currently?
So right now, I would say the market is hot. It's kind of a weird time because, with COVID, there's a lot of people that are struggling, but in the housing market, I mean, there's a lot of appreciation in the market. So it's what would be considered a seller's market. So there's not a lot of inventory, so it makes it tough for buyers, but also with low interest rates, it gives buyers power to afford more. So for example, and this is one thing with new content I'm coming out, just talking about, if you bought a house 2 years ago for $200,000, you could have that same payment now for a house that's $230,000.
Wow.
Yeah. So it's, I mean, the market's hot and it moves quick. So, people are looking to buy. It's best to, start getting ready and start preparing for that process early rather than, waiting till something you like comes up and then trying to go for it.
Exactly, especially with this presidential change. How you think that's going to impact the market?
Well, it's funny you say that. So, just the other day with the Capitol riots,
All that crazy
um,
stuff.
dude, it's ridiculous. But with rates being low, the next day, I'm on the phone with one of my borrowers, and I say, hey, we're gonna lock this in at 3.5, and try to press the lock button, and it says can't lock. Look at the rates again, and it went up an eighth of a percent because of the riots.
Wow.
And then later that day they went back down. But I mean that just shows the volatility of politics and
Yes, how it all
COVID
factors
and
in.
everything. Yeah, so I mean it's things. I mean it changes really quickly, and waiting may not be the best idea for people, but some people waiting might be the best thing.
That's cool. That's good. That's good. So for first time home buyers, what should they know about the market right now that they don't?
That's a tough question because I would say there's quite a bit. I would say for the one thing that I've come to find out as I've done more and more deals and worked with more first time home buyers is really how actually easy it is. I mean, easy in the sense of if you work with a good lender and a good realtor, like the process is going to be smooth. Like there's going to be a lot of upfront work, like collecting documents, filling out an application. But as you go, you're going to be educated. You're going to be confident. You're going to be prepared. So when it comes to the closing day, all you have to do is just have the check and sign the papers.
Absolutely. So just to reiterate, for first time buyers right now, if they get with the right loan officers and get with the right realtors, they can be educated and go into this decision more comfortably. Is that what you're saying?
Exactly. Yep. And and not everyone qualifies for a mortgage, and not everyone should have one. But if you have a good loan officer and a realtor that says, hey, right now it may not be in your best interest, or right now you don't qualify. Let's stay in touch. Let's revisit this in 3, 4, 6 a year. Let's stay together and work together. It shouldn't be just a transactional deal. It should be a relationship based
Absolutely.
decision.
Absolutely. So, as a loan officer that you are in the work that you do, you're around this environment every day. So, is it important for them to play in the market now, or just sit the sidelines? Not necessarily make a purchase, but like get out, ask those questions, get that knowledge.
So yeah, that's a good question. I think with where the market is at and how quick it moves, I usually try to tell people, and even like with my friends, I say, if you were considering even buying, I would say just start the process now with a lender and try to figure out what the numbers look like for you. Because if you have that dialed in, if you get a pre-approval letter, that can last 4 months.
Yes, absolutely.
So, being ready to go, and if something you do like comes up, you're ready to fire. And if not, that's okay. I mean, you can re-explore it later on, but at least roughly where you're at.
Nice. So real quick, let's jump off the interview strip real quick.
Yep.
So you are a lender, a loaner. Real quick for the Des Moines people, please give your spiel of where they can find you right now. Like, I think that's important now because you do a great job at educating people, not even necessarily looking to have them make a purchase, but just letting them understand. So let them know where they can find you right now.
Yeah. So I would say the best place to reach me is probably my website because it has all my contact information. And you can actually see a picture of me and stuff like that, so you can actually put a name to face. So my website link is www.jnhomeloan.com, and my number is 641-330-2932. And I would say my email, but my last name is tough to spell. So,
yeah.
So maybe you can find me on social media. I think that's another one.
Absolutely. Instagram is
so
where you educate them the most at.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that social media is a powerful tool, and a lot of people our age use it, and that's the best way to connect with people.
Exactly. Guys, you see, he just shouted out his phone number for you. If you don't write that down and text him, then you just gonna sit the sideline and miss out. Like, that's why I had him do that, because I knew he was gonna give out his number. He's very personable. Text him, call him, whatever. He'll get you closer. All right, let's get back to it.
For sure.
So many people stay on the sideline because of the lack of knowledge. Can you give them the steps that you have to take when the first time you're buying a house? Like, give them what that process look like.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think that's important to know because I think that's the hardest part for a lot of people. And so, at least, and this is my process. I mean, a lot of people are different, but what I always tell people is, talk to me, talk to a lender, talk to your local mortgage advisor, and just have that conversation. It doesn't have to be just that conversation, or even putting in an application isn't a commitment to buying a home. But you don't know where you stand if you don't have the initial conversation.
Exactly. I think that's important too, like you said, because a lot of people get turned off by the process. They feel like they gotta purchase. But say if I was going into a home loan, trying to get pre-approved, do I have to purchase even if I get pre-approved?
No, that's another good point. Is no, you do not need to purchase. And this is another good point too. Is right now with COVID, it's deemed in the real estate world more risky. If someone's looking to buy, because if you try to go in and make an offer on a house without a pre-approval letter or anything like that stating that you have the funds, most sellers won't even acknowledge that offer because they want to make sure that if somebody is going to buy their home, that it's going to close on time, because there's a lot of transactions where it's contingent on a sale. So if someone's trying to sell their house and buy another one, it may be contingent that their house sells. So they have to make sure they have a buyer.
Okay, yeah, that makes perfect sense. Hope you guys took that away. Now let's jump to real estate. Like, people trying to make money a little bit. In your opinion, is this the time for current homeowners to get more of it, and why? Or why not?
I think it depends on the person. I know there's a lot of investors in the Des Moines area, and real estate investing and house hacking, like, those are really powerful tools, to be successful with your money, long term. But if you're not somebody who wants to manage tenants, to go through interview processes like that, maybe that's not something for you. But in terms of, financially, if you can handle that, and you can deal with, maybe having roommates, or if you buy a duplex or a triplex, renting out the other side, then I'd say, go for it, because it's such a powerful appreciation, and rent money is such a powerful tool, and it, can help you become financially free potentially.
Exactly. So with the state of the market right now, kind of like what you was explaining right now, is it possible for people to house hack in this time, or is it just safe for them to sit the sideline?
I would say, it's definitely possible. I think if you just graduated, for example, if you just graduated college, you're making $80,000 on a salary, so you have good income, you saved up, $20,000, you may be able to get a nice place. And if you have good credit, you got a bunch of buddies that are all moving down to the same area, I mean, it may not hurt to buy a house and rent it out with your buddies and then have them pay your mortgage.
Easy. Yeah. Seriously. So don't want to miss out on this for the first time home buyers. Is there one last thing you got to give them that you wanted to, that you probably forgot? I don't want to leave them in the wind. I know I got a lot of first time home buyers watching and listening.
Yeah, I would say, if you're going to or interested in buying a house, it's good to just do the research on home prices. I mean, there's definitely ways to kind of calculate how much, you can afford. But I'm always going to reiterate, just have that initial conversation, because that's part of my process. Even I work with realtors, and when they send somebody to me, I like to have that initial conversation to know their goals. So
Nice.
I would say it's another point. Just know what you want to accomplish with home ownership.
Nice. That's how you get comfortable, you guys. It's just putting yourself out there. Like, it's just like dating. Just take that leap, and then got people in place that'll give you the education and the knowledge to move forward. It's not impossible.
For sure.
So, just in general about the market and housing, what are some of your favorite people to learn from who you can share with us that can teach us and make us more comfortable when we're going into a pre-approval or going into a conversation with a realtor?
Yeah, no, I would say, I mean, in terms of just general real estate, whether it just be investing or knowledge, there's a guy on YouTube. His name's Graham Stephan. Um, I would say I've listened to a lot of his stuff in the past and some more currently, and he talks a lot about real estate investing. I mean, I think in his portfolio, he's got $10 million and probably $8 million of it is all real estate.
Wow.
So, I mean, he's a realtor in California. Now I think he's in Vegas, but I mean, guys like that who've done it and understand it are really good resources. I would say, I mean, my mentor / boss, I don't really consider him my boss. His name's Louis Wickett. He's another loan officer. I mean, He puts out a lot of great content too. And, I've learned a lot from him, and that's where I get a lot of my content ideas from, is just like seeing him and see how he educates his borrowers. And that's how I look to educate mine.
Absolutely. Where is his content located mostly? YouTube, Instagram?
His is on, he added it on YouTube, and I have on Instagram. And he's located in the Davenport market right now.
Nice.
Does some in the morning.
Nice.
So,
just good people. It's good to have those people around to be a sponge from. You are the average of who you're hanging out with, whether it's virtually or in person.
Right. And it's good to have somebody hold you accountable. Like, there's a lot of people that you can learn from on the internet, but having that one person that's successful and can hold you accountable to your success. And I work with some of the other guys I work with, and we all hold each other accountable, and that just helps our team grow.
That's good. How many, in your office, how many people are in that tight-knit circle working?
So there's me, and there's another loan officer named Brady Hay.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's another one named Brian Hauk. So it's us three in Des Moines right now. And then Louis, he's in Davenport, but looking to relocate potentially to Des Moines. So
nice.
I would say 4 of us right now. And obviously, there's always room to grow if there's somebody else that fits the team. But in terms of where we're at right now, we really enjoy where we're at.
That's good, man. It sounds like you guys got it going down there. I was excited to have you on for that particular reason. I just see the content you put out and things like that. You've helped me so much learn. So you guys make sure I'll put his Instagram in the link below, and you guys make sure you tap into that Instagram to get some knowledge on going into buying a home. Now I know you're willing to help people out. You literally just aired out your phone number over the interview. So that's no doubt. If you don't know he'll help people out, you should rewind this interview. So let us know again how and where to reach you. Be very clear, please.
Yep. So my personal cell phone is 641-330-2932. You can, I guess my name will probably be on the podcast. You can look me up on social media. You'll be able to find me. Type me in on Google. You'll be able to find my info there. And then my website is www.jnhomeloan.com.
Absolutely. You guys are going to hear that a bunch this episode, because guess what? He is the very first sponsor of Minds with Hakeem. And it was a pleasure having you on today, brother. Thanks for the education. Thank you for the knowledge.
I appreciate you having me on. I'm blessed to be on here, and I'm super happy to support this podcast, because, after listening to you, a few times, I just I've played basketball with you. I know what kind of guy you are, and I fully support everything that goes on with this podcast.
Absolutely, man. I appreciate that, man. And that wraps up another episode of the Minds with Hakeem podcast. Come learn about house marketing today with us, guys. Y'all have a good day. Peace.